Gas like Margiela. I ride with the mob just like a good fella. God protect me, I was born a sinner. I could lose it all, but I was born a winner. Back to back with the mob. I've been gassing and ducking the law, and I never wanna sit with y'all. I'd rather get it with me and my dogs. And I know that they want us to fall, but they don't even know us at all. I don't want no fake love, cause you know I can't trust at all. I'm tryna do better. I watch for the people with the vendettas. I listen to mama, she say never settle. I wanna see time through a whole new bezel, fucking with the mob life. It's the mob life, and mob ties with the mob life. Suited and we booted, suited and we booted like it's televised. Suited and we booted, suited and we booted like it's televised. You wanna see us crash and burn. When you take a L, that's just how you learn. You're stupid. When you've been through it, you gotta stand firm. Protect your name and just keep your word. Back to back with the mob. I've been gassing and ducking the law, and I never wanna sit with y'all. I'd rather get it with me and my dogs. And I know that they want us to fall, but they don't even know us at all. I don't want no fake love, cause you know I can't trust at all. Baby, I'm a trendsetter. I'm tryna take this to a whole nother level. Fly shit on me, I've been flocking with the fellas. I wanna see time through a whole new bezel, fucking with the mob life. It's the mob life, and mob ties with the mob life. Suited and we booted, suited and we booted like it's televised. Suited and we booted, suited and we booted like it's televised.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to today's London session live stream. I will be breaking down the charts or the pairs that I have on watch in a few. As always, if you have any pair you'd like me to look at, you can let me know. I'd also like to know if you guys have any pairs on watch for today and what is your bias. Yesterday we had corrective markets as I was breaking down the markets during the live stream, and we continue with that corrective price action throughout the New York session. Anyway, for today, we might get some opportunities, but first we'll have to wait for a little bit more price development. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes, or should I just start to break down the pairs that I have on watch, or just break down the markets? Did you guys take any trades yesterday? So first of all, I'm going to start with the economic calendar for the day. As always, now I went through the economic calendar yesterday for the entire week, and today was a clear day in terms of high impact news being released. So let me just refresh this. So we don't have any news during the day. The only news coming out will be at night on the New Zealand dollar. So it is a pretty clear day for us to trade without worrying about too much spikes. But from what we saw from last week on Thursday, if you have any rumors of on the USD or on JPY and the news is coming out the next day, we just have to be aware of price action the previous day. So the only news or hot story is on the Iran war on the Strait of Hormuz. So it's still having a huge impact on the markets, especially on oil, with a lot of uncertainty. But as you can see, since we don't have any high impact news to worry about for today, I'd like to start to break down the markets, going over the various pairs that I trade. Now, as always, I start with the dollar index or the DXY, just to give me a bias on the dollar denominated pairs that I trade. So now, from what I'm seeing from yesterday's Asian session, now I'd like to look at the charts starting just before spread hours at around 8. Now my chart settings is based on London time, so it is 2 hours behind Kenya, time. Now you can see throughout the Asian session yesterday, we've just been sort of trying to push upwards, but in a very corrective manner. In fact, you can even say that price has just been hovering in and around this area, these highs and this low. So for today, I'm waiting to see how we are going to break outside of this consolidation on the dollar. Are we going to see a lot of strength with price breaking out of this consolidation to the upside, showing a lot of strength on the dollar? Or are we going to break to the downside with a lot of selling pressure, indicating weakness on the dollar? As such, that will now help me get a bias on the other pairs that I trade. So in case we get markets, the dollar pushing upwards, I'll be looking to short Euro USD, Pound USD, Audi USD, but I'll be looking to go long on USD CHF. So I think I'm just going to get into the dollar denominated pairs to look at them. Now the price action on Euro USD and on the DXY is inversely correlated, but you can see exactly as the price pushes upwards on the DXY, you'll see price pushing lower on Euro USD just because of the strength of the dollar. So right now we can see we're just in that consolidation, just as we were on the DXY. So that's why I always say I'd like to start my analysis with a price action on the dollar index. So with the Euro USD, we're just going to be patient, waiting to see how we're going to break out of the consolidation. As I've said, my reference point will be the DXY or the dollar index. On Pound USD, still the same almost messy price action. That's why you can see the correlation between price action on the dollar index and on the dollar denominated pairs. ODSD, we had this push during the Asian session with the upside, but we are now in some sort of a consolidation. So we'll have to wait and see how we're going to break outside of this level, this consolidation. If you're going to the up to look for longs, we have first of all to break this high. And if we break to the downside, I'll be wary about these lows, taking shorts, because if we break this consolidation, we get a entry around this area. I'm not looking to take shorts because of this potential area of support here. So first of all, you just have to wait and see. Hopefully the best scenario in this Audi USD pair will be if we can break to the upside. That will mean if we have dollar weakness, but as always, as I've said, the reference point first of all will be the dollar index. I'll not be looking to get involved with these pairs until we break outside of this consolidation on the dollar index. You can see how price is correlated on USD CHF. In that consolidation, we can see on the DXY. So whenever I'm starting to look at the markets and analyze, whenever I see price action where it's just consolidating, and by consolidating, it's just moving sideways in a very zigzag manner. And as always, if you can't see the price action or the market structure when you're looking at the candlesticks, just go down to the line chart and you'll see it clearly, just zigzag movement. So this is what we normally refer to as a consolidation or a range bound market. And for me, I'm looking to see how we are going to get out of the range. Are we going to break out impulsively on either side to see if I can look for continuation entries? Now that's what I'm looking at on the dollar denominated pairs. When it comes to the yen pairs, I'm still wary about getting involved, mainly because, like you can see, the price action is very good on the 5-minute. You can see prices pushing upwards all through the Asian session. We've been pushing upwards, and ideally in this scenario, I will be looking to see signs of exhaustion here at the top before I'm looking for reversals. But the reason why I'm not looking to get involved is because when I go to the 1 hour time frame, we are still inside a pullback. This move you're seeing on the 5-minute is a pullback on this impulsive push to the downside. So I'm not looking to get involved with the yen pairs. And if you even go to the Audi USD, you'll see the same thing. But with Audi USD, it's a little bit better because we did break this low, this push, then we gotten the reversal. But still, I'm very wary about the yen pairs. But if I'm to take a trade on the yen pairs, then the only pair I'll have on watch today is on Audi JPY. We have been trending upwards throughout the Asian session, and now I'm looking to see if I can get signs of reversal. I'm already seeing weakness in these candles, so if we can get a pullback, get this sort of price action, then we get the selling pressure. I'll be looking to take entries on that first pullback to take prices lower. On New Zealand JPY, we have very good price action, but with this we're still in the pullback of that 1 hour candle, so I'm not looking to get involved with New Zealand JPY. But let me just confirm if we broke this low. This had a low of 91.669, so we did not break the low. So it's still, this move is just a pullback, so I'm not looking to see if I can get involved with New Zealand JPY on the intraday. Same with pound JPY. You can see we're still covering this pullback area, so I'm not looking to get involved there. The price action on the 5-minute is really good, but since we're in that pullback, I'm not looking to get involved. So I was looking at the DAX. The DAX is a pair I'll be looking at for today, to see if there'll be any opportunities to short at this point in time. But what might happen is it might range here for a while, and then I'll be looking to see how we're going to break outside of that consolidation. If you break to the downside, get a small pullback, I'll be looking to short the market. If we break to the upside impulsively, I'll also be looking to take continuation entries. Now we are starting to get a sell-off. Now, will I look to get involved at this point in time? If we get this strong selling pressure, I think I will, but let's wait and see. Most probably for me on this sort of price action, I'm expecting price to range for a while before we can get the selling pressure. Now I was looking at silver, but silver is not I don't like to trade silver. I rarely get to trade silver, but this sort of price action is what I like to see at the end of a trending market to show me signs of the buying pressure getting exhausted. So at this point in time on silver, we have this sort of ascending nature at the top. After the market had trended for quite a while. So any moment now, if we get strong selling pressure coming out of that ascending nature, I'll be looking to short the market. I'm not looking for longs on this pair. I will prefer to trade gold over silver, but the price action on silver is clearer than on gold. But on either pair, I'm not looking to go long. Now, if you're still looking to go long on gold, on the intraday, this price action over here was a break of character. I don't like to see such deep pullbacks when you are looking for a trending market. This is an indication that you might get into a range or the buying pressure might get exhausted. So I will be keeping an eye out on what happens on gold. Are you going to get a correction, get this sort of price action before we get the sell-off? That's something I'll be looking at. So let me just highlight the pairs that I have on watch. I don't have anything immediately, but with all these pairs, anything can happen today, either during the London session or the New York session. It's just about being patient and waiting for either buyers to take control of the market or for sellers to take control of the market, especially on the dollar-denominated pairs. The only pair that might need close attention is AUD/JPY, because you might get selling pressure any moment. For now, I'll wait and see if we can break this low. If we break this low, I'm looking to see how we're going to break it. Are we going to break it impulsively, or are we going to break it correctively? So this is actually what I will prefer to focus on for the first hour, but I'll still have an eye out on all these other pairs to see if we can get any if you can get any developments in price action. So that's basically my market forecast for the London session or for the day. It is just as quick as that. Now I know the pairs that I have on watch. With the dollar-denominated pairs, I just have to, first of all, wait for price action to break outside of this consolidation on the DXY before I can start to look to get involved on the dollar-denominated pairs. As such, I'm going to stick to AUD/JPY first of all for now. So, do you guys have any pairs you have on watch? And does your bias for the day align with my analysis? So I'm going to just be patient, as always, waiting, see if we can get the price action I'm looking for. I am going to stick to 2 hours for today's London session live 2 to 3 hours, depending on if you're going to get an entry. If you get an entry, then I will manage the trade during the live. For now, we just wait a little for price action to play out. So as always, if you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat. Hello, Sammy. Welcome to today's live. What do you have on watch for today? Or did you even take trades yesterday or earlier today morning? So if you're joining the stream, we're currently waiting to see if we can get exhaustion of this buying pressure, to see if we can get some really strong sellers in the market. Then we can look for pullback entries. I am a little bit wary about the yen pairs, and I've already gone through the market breakdown or forecast for the day. So we did get continuation of this selling pressure on the DAX, but it's not strong selling pressure. I'd still expect some sort of consolidation around this area. But if we can get a really strong bearish candle, I might rethink getting involved. I'm looking at gold right now. I'm yet to take a trade this week. Okay. So I've also what's the bias on gold? For me, I'm looking to see if I can get shorts on gold. Waiting to see if we can get a little bit more price development before we get the sell-offs. Similarly on silver, but silver is even clearer. The price action is clearer on silver than on gold. So for today, I'd look to see if I can get shorts on silver and maybe on gold, but I don't know about you. Are you looking to short or to go long? So we're waiting to see if we can get strong selling pressure coming out of this ascending nature at the top of a market that has been trending for quite a while. Now, I'll have to wait and see how we are going to break this low. This is my pivot low, this particular pair. I want to see how we are going to break this low. Are you going to break it with a lot of selling pressure so that I can look to take pullback entries? So you're also looking for sells. Well, I guess our bias for the day is aligned. We may just have different entry triggers or different levels we're looking at, but for me, I'm looking for shorts. Let me quickly look at what's happening on AUD/JPY. So on AUD/JPY, we're waiting to see if we're going to break this low impulsively. Waiting to see if we're going to break this low impulsively, start to look for shorts. We might get the selling pressure any moment because you can see really reduced momentum in the buying pressure. Even if you continue to push higher, I'll not be looking for longs on this pair. So let's wait and see if you're going to get any opportunities to short gold or to short silver or AUD/JPY. With the dollar denominated pairs, I'm still waiting for price to break outside of this consolidation on the dollar index before I can look to get involved. But I can already see we've broken the low on my pivot low on silver, but we still have to wait for strong selling pressure. What I'd like to see is at least 2 to 3 impulsive bearish candles breaking this low before we can start to look for pullback entries. Hopefully we can get this selling pressure coming in during the London session while we are streaming live. Now it's important to point out that we might get the sell-offs, but maybe we might not get our entry trigger. Sometimes that happens. In fact, most of the time that happens, but in case we get the sell-off, get the pullback, and I get my entry trigger, I'll definitely look to short the market today on silver. On gold, I still think we might need a little bit more price development before we get the sell-offs, but we're already getting strong selling pressure on gold, so we might just get the continuation of this momentum, because if I was looking at a low, this would have been the pivot low, and we've already broken it. So we've already broken the pivot low, which had been the low of this inside bar candle, broken, but we have to see strong selling pressure. This is not strong enough. So as always, you just have to be patient. Noted broken the low on ODJPY. I've already gone into the economic calendar for the day in terms of news being released. So we have a clear trading day today. We don't have any high impact news to worry about. Mondays and Tuesdays are generally slow in terms of price action. Yesterday was very corrective. Today we have a little bit better price action, but it's just about if you're going to get the sell-off we are looking for. I always say if you can't see the market structure clearly, you can go down to the line chart. You can see this is what we refer to as an ascending nature. Some might call an ascending channel. So just looking at what's happening or the underlying price action between that structure. So every time you're breaking the highs, you're retracing. Every time you're breaking the highs, you're getting sellers. You break the highs again, you get selling pressure. This sort of price action just goes to show that buying pressure might be getting exhausted and you're starting to get sellers at these levels. So it's about waiting for the confirmation for the reversal. So let's just be a little bit patient. We broke, but we did not get continuation of momentum. So we still have to wait for another maybe one very strong bearish candle or two breaking, continuing this push to the downside. With the dollar pairs, I think they'll need a little bit more time, But when we finally break outside of this consolidation, if we break outside impulsively, we're going to get a really good price action. You might get opportunities to either go long or short. As I said, I'm only looking for the dollar index. I don't trade the dollar index itself, but I use it to get a bias on the dollar denominated pairs that I trade. That selling pressure on gold cooled down a little. I came to realize most of you are more active during the New York session than the London session. Maybe today I can do a New York session live stream. I might try to double stack the live streams, maybe doing the London and the New York on the days that I'm involved in the markets. As always, whenever we have a bank holiday in the US or in Japan, or if you have FOMC, CPI, I'm not looking to get involved in the markets. So on those days, I'll definitely not be doing the live streams. But every other day in which we have a clear day in terms of news being released, then I will try my best to do the live streams. So far we've been consistent with the lives, although the markets have been very corrective. Not yet been able to get consecutive winning trades that we will definitely get them at some point. But the main point of the live sessions is to show you how I approach the markets in a realistic way. Like, I'm not forcing trades just for the sake of the stream. I'll also enter the New York stream. For me, mostly trade London session. Yeah, man. I think if you're trading on the intraday, you might sometimes just choose one session to trade, because over time there'll be enough trades for you to take advantage of. First of all, for me, I trade the London session and the New York session just the first 3 hours. I don't like trade the entire day. I only trade the London session. This is on the intraday strategy. On the swing, I might take trades anytime during the day, but with the swing, I'm not looking at the charts. Like even today, I've already looked at the charts from the 1 hour time frame, and there's absolutely nothing for me to get involved in today. And the thing about the swing approach is the market does not change as fast. So if you just do your analysis in the morning, that's probably enough. If you see the market is corrective, just maybe need to check back after 4 or 5 hours. But on the intraday, you have to be on. That's why I say you can't trade all the sessions. It is going to be exhausting. So choose at least one or two. For me, I trade the London session primarily, and the London session will intersect with the New York session at around 3 p.m. Kenyan time. So I trade just the first 3 hours of the New York session until 6. So at 6, my trading is done on the intraday strategy. I don't trade the Asian session. Like, you can't, as I've said, you can't trade every session. You have to sleep, you have to rest. So if you are in, maybe because of time zones, you are in Asia, so you might decide to trade the Asian session, because if you would like to trade the London or the New York, you'll probably be trading at night. I actually think that as Kenyans, we are in the best time zone in terms of trading, because the London session starts at 10, the New York session starts at 3, so you can like basically trade the entire day and get the best sessions of the day, the London, the New York. If you wake up even a little bit earlier, you can get to trade the later sessions of the Asian session. So being in Kenya is really advantageous in terms of time zones. Now, for those who might have a challenge with the trading sessions, you can just use this tool from Baby Pips to show you the market hours. So you can see clearly we're just about to end the Tokyo session. The Sydney session is closed. These two probably the Asian session. Then we get into the London, just the first 2 hours. You can see here the New York session starts at 3. So in case you are a little bit confused with the trading sessions, you can just use the Baby Pips Forex Hours tool. Let me look at what's happening on Audi JPY. So we're still pushing upwards like I was expecting, waiting still to see if we can break the high, get a retrace, break the high, retrace. But any moment now, if you get the selling pressure, I'll be looking to see if I can get entries on the pullback after that first initial impulsive push. So for now, we just be patient, wait for the buyers to be completely exhausted in this, or the buying pressure to be completely exhausted before the sellers can take full control. Right now, my pivot low will still remain at this level. I've entered shorts on gold. We've entered shorts. So we've got in at what level? for me, I'm still waiting for confirmation. So if we get another strong selling candle, because right now my pivot low, after we broke and retraced, I should have moved my pivot low to this level just for illustration, but we've broken, but not yet with the strength I'm looking for. So if I can get another really strong bearish candle, that will be confirmation for me that we might be getting the onset of a downtrending market. But I can definitely see the reasoning for taking shorts right now. I mean, you could look at this like a sort of a double top. We've taken this out this high. And we've gotten a reaction with selling pressure. Let's wait and see how that short on gold for you is going to play out. For me, I still have to wait a little. Gold has been a really tricky pair to trade of late. So I can see we continued with the selling pressure on the DXY, but not on the DX, on the DAX, but the German 30 or the German 40 also. Might look to get involved with shorts, but just first see. I'll be wary about these lows, Asian lows. So I don't think I'll be looking to short this market. I'm not going to get involved even though we have selling pressure. For me, I would have loved to see price action develop a little bit more around this area. But since we've gotten the sell-offs immediately and we are approaching these Asian lows, I'd be wary about getting involved. So the focus for me still remains on silver, gold, Audi JPY. With the dollar denominated pairs, we still have to wait for price to come outside of the consolidation on the dollar index. But I've just seen Audi JPY. We have to be careful about Audi JPY. So my pivot low will be this low of this candle. We've already gotten the break and retrace I was looking for. So right now it's all about if you're going to get the selling pressure, then you can look for pullback entries. After that, first initial impulsive push. Never come across that German pair. It depends on which broker you're using. They have different. So you can look at the German 40, for example. I'll show you. You'll see the price action is very similar. For me, I use Blueberry. So you can see, maybe you can search which broker are you using. Depends on the broker you're using. They just have maybe a different ticker symbol. can also look at the German 30, German 40, but like different brokers have different ticker symbols. So you can either trade the German 40 or the German 30, the DE30 euro. This is a no under. This is a no under chart. But it's just about your broker having a different ticker symbol. HFM. Let me try and so for HFM, you can just look at the German 30. Is it the German 40? Let me see. It's not 40. Can you just check from your end for German 40 or German 30? You'll see it. Yeah, the ticket symbol for that pair on HFM is the German 40, GER 40. You can see you've gotten continuation of momentum on that gold short that you have. For me, I'm not yet looking to get involved. Still, I want to see a little bit more commitment from the sellers. Yeah, exactly. I guess you're in profit on that gold trade. Slightly in profit. So we're starting to get some selling pressure, but we've not yet gotten the strong selling pressure to clearly show me that it is an impulsive push. So I'm still going to wait for that strong selling or strong bearish candles. So we still have to be patient on these pairs. Wait for the sellers to actually take control of the market with really strong selling pressure, both on gold and on silver. I'm also looking for shorts on Audi JPY, just waiting for the reversals. My pivot low still remains at this level. I was expecting price to continue in this manner, pushing upwards, breaking highs, retracing, breaking highs, retracing. So right now it's all about this small buying pressure getting exhausted. See if we're going to get reversals. Let me see if I might have to move my pivot low. Not yet. By there, where are you guys joining me from? So we are just about to complete the first 2 hours of the London session. But we just completed the first hour of the live. Let's do another 1 hour. See if we're going to get the setups. But as I've said, for today, I might come back for the New York session. There's a very strong possibility that I'll do the New York session live stream. As I've said, with the New York session, I just trade the first 3 hours of the New York session. So that will be from 3 to around 6 p.m. Kenyan time. I'm in Nairobi, yeah. I guess it's that cold Nairobi winter time. July, August, in May. Super cold. Starting to get some momentum on silver with the selling pressure, but let's wait and see. This candle is not yet impulsive. We need a really strong bearish candle, but we are starting to get the sell-off coming off this ascending nature that was at the top of a market that had trended for quite a while. So let's wait and see if you're going to get that strong bearish candle I'm looking for. Then I can start to look for pullback entries. As I've said, sometimes the market might just move without giving you an opportunity to enter your trade. Because we have to, or I have to wait for the entry trigger to take the trade. Sometimes you don't get that entry trigger. You get the direction right, but you do not get involved with that move. It is what it is sometimes. But I guess for you, Sammy, on this gold short, you're still in profit, and from what I'm seeing, you're still pushing lower. So this candle has closed, but it has not yet given me the confirmation I'm looking for. Let's wait and see if we're going to continue pushing lower with strong momentum. If we do reverse and price continues to push upwards, I'll not be getting involved with longs, both on silver and on gold. We have not yet gotten the selling pressure on Audi JPY. So we've continued with this move, with this candle, with the downside, but we still have like 4 minutes for this candle to close. Hopefully it can push a little bit lower, giving us a really strong bearish candle. That will confirm the reversal of price action from this trending market to a market that might just start to trend lower. Yeah, it's still in, it has to be in small profit because price has not moved that much. But if we get the sell-offs I'm talking about, then since you're already in the trade, you'll be able to even lock in more profits. But as always, ensure you exercise good risk management and you position size your trade. Let's see if we're going to continue this selling pressure. So I like the fact that we are still continuing to push lower, but we've not yet gotten a strong bearish candle I'm looking for. So I'm still going to wait. This candle has not closed, so let's see if this candle can come all the way to this level and it closes strongly, then that will be the confirmation I'm looking for. Then I'm going to look for the pullback to see if I can get short entries. We were waiting for sellers to come into the market to take prices lower coming out of this ascending nature. You have gotten the selling pressure. It's all about how impulsive is the selling pressure for me to get involved. Some you can see gold is moving, so you're probably doing good on that short trade that you have. So this candle has closed, but it's not an impulsive bearish candle. So what you'll notice is there's no difference between these candles and the candles in this ascending nature. So that for me is an indication that we've not yet gotten the confirmation of the impulsive selling pressure for me to look for continuation entries to the downside. We might reverse, but still I'm waiting for that bearish candle. We've continued with this push to the downside with this candle. We've just broken. Still have 4 minutes for this candle to close, so I'm still waiting for that really strong bearish candle to confirm momentum. Let me just take a quick look at ODJPY. We are continuing pushing higher, but as I said, even if we continue pushing higher, I'm not looking to short the market. Now at this point in time, because we've continued to push higher, I'd like to see some retrace, break, retrace, break, retrace, or some sort of consolidation before we can get the sell-offs. It will be difficult to get a selling, it will be a really wild bearish candle, come all the way, break this low and continue with momentum. So the most ideal scenario would be some sort of consolidation before we can get the selling pressure, because we still seem to have buyers in the market. I'd like to see the buying pressure getting exhausted completely before I can look for the sellers to take control of the market. They're still pushing lower, but not yet with a strong selling pressure that I'd like to see. me just look at a quick experiment here. I've been looking at this sort of price action, seeing if you can take one-to-ones. Price coming out of such a consolidation, looking just to get price coming to that level, almost a one-to-one and 0.85, but like I don't like trade like that, but it is something you can look out on your own. And test it out. Like you're continuing with the momentum, but I'm not getting the strong bearish candle I'm looking for, so I still have to wait. Even on gold, we're not getting the strong bearish candle, but for you, some you might be still in profit, or have you closed the trade? Let's just wait and see if you're going to get that strong bearish candle. At this point in time, with this sort of momentum, it does not give me that much confidence. So with the dollar denominated pairs, we're still waiting for price to come outside of this consolidation on the dollar index or the DXY, so that we can now have a bias on what we'll be looking for on Euro USD, Pound USD, AUD USD, and USD CHF. We are waiting for these sell-offs on silver, as I was saying, but we've gotten the selling pressure, but not that strong enough selling pressure for me to be convinced that this might be the start of a downtrending market. So I'm still going to wait. So you're still in the trade, but I guess you have a stop at some level. With gold, I'm a little bit wary about this level here on the 5 minute. I will be aware of this low. So even for myself, until you break this low, I'll not be looking to get involved with shorts on gold around this area. Now, what I'm seeing from these two last candles is not ideal. This shows a lot of weakness on this push. So if this candle does not continue to push lower and you get sort of a pullback, this for me will not be ideal for me to look for short entries. So hopefully you can get this candle continuing this push and getting a really good candle close. Otherwise, this might be a sign that we might get a reversal and that this selling pressure was short-lived. But let's wait for this candle to close. Yeah, that's really good trade management. Moving your stop to break even at this level, because from your entry we've already moved quite a, I guess you got entered at this level around here. So this push and this area, it's ideal if you've moved your stop to break even. That's excellent risk management and trade management. Let's wait and see how this, if this candle does not break this low of this candle, it will be a counter trend candle. And for me, these last two candles in this push are a warning sign. You can see the reduced momentum in the candles, very small candles with wicks. This is not ideal price action if you're looking for strong selling pressure. Look for pullback entries. So let's just wait and see how this candle is going to close. So without the JPY, we're getting that retrace I was talking about. After I got this push, get this retrace, get another push to the upside, break that high, then you get another retrace, and at that point I'll be looking to see if you can get the selling pressure. But for now, the pivot low still remains at this level. If we get this after this pullback, we could get continuation of momentum, then I'll move my pivot low to around this area. let me just take a look at that silver. So this candle did not continue this momentum, so I'm not looking to get involved with shorts at this point in time. You might get a complete reversal in price, take us back to these areas, test this size again. So for me to get involved with this pair, I would have to, first of all, again, to break this low, because this now is my pivot low. You'd have to get continuation of momentum, really strong momentum, and I'm not sure you'll be able to do that, because first of all, you also have to be aware of these Asian lows. The ideal scenario would have been if we'd have gotten the strong bearish candle in the bearish push on this move, but we didn't. So I'm not looking to get pullback entries. We're probably going to get a pullback here, and we might continue pushing lower, but for me, this is not the ideal price action I'd like to see before I start to look for continuation entries to the downside. Do you have a TP on that gold trade that you have? With this sort of price action and this possible support area, my focus will now be shifting to Audi JPY. You can see we're getting that price action I was talking about. We got the pullback, we break the high, we're going to get another pullback. So for now, this is now my pivot low, and I'm waiting to see how we are going to break this low impulsively. We've already gotten the break and retrace I'm looking for. We might continue with that break and retrace, but at this point in time, if we do get the sell-offs any moment now and we break this low impulsively, I'll look to get involved with shorts on the first pullback after that impulsive push. At 44.26. Guess it's around this area. Yeah, that aligns well with the Asian lows, this area that I'm talking about. I really hope you get that profit target hit. That's a really good trade you got in there, man. Trade is running risk-free, stops at break-even, just waiting for price to hit your profit target. I guess if you hit that TP, your trading for the day is done. For me, my focus shifts to Audi JPY. The dollar denominated pairs still need some time before we can break outside of this consolidation on the dollar index before we can start to look at the dollar denominated pairs. Sorry, I muted the mic. I was saying that this is a really good trade that you have on gold. Trade is running risk-free, stops at break-even. You're just waiting for your profit target to be hit. That is the ideal trading day. I guess you won't be looking to get involved if price comes, this hits your TP. Yeah, it's clear that the selling pressure is declining, is reducing, but it is expected considering we're approaching these levels. We could already see that selling pressure reducing with these two very weak candles on this push, and that's why I'm not looking to get involved with shorts around this level. You might get even a setup, but for me this was not the sort of ideal impulsive push I'd like to see before I can look for shorts. What sort of risk reward are you looking on that trade? On ODJPY, we're still waiting for, now we've continued pushing upwards, another pullback, break, another pullback. If you get that sort of price action, then you get the sell-off. That will be ideal, but even now we've already gotten the break and retrace I was looking for. So my pivot low is now at this level. If you can get strong selling pressure breaking this low, I'll be looking to see if I can get involved with shorts. I was initially looking for shorts on silver coming out of this ascending nature at the top of a market that had been trending for a while, but we got the sellers coming into the market, but not with the sort of strength I'd like to see before I can look for pullback entries. So I'm just going to stay out and let this price to play out. So the focus for me will be on Audi JPY to see if we can get the selling pressure. I want to see really strong selling pressure taking prices lower, and I look to see if I can get pullbacks after that first initial impulsive leg. One to 64. I guess you've made a typo there. Or is that 1.64? Do I stream daily, London and New York? Yeah, I stream daily, mostly the London session. Sometimes I might do the New York. Like today I'm thinking about coming back for the New York session. But generally I trade the first 2 hours or 3 hours of the London session. And sometimes I trade the New York session. But I only get live trade whenever we don't have high impact news such as NFP, CPI, FOMC, or a bank holiday in the US or Japan. As long as I myself am getting involved in the markets that day, and then I'm live streaming. So it is a 1 to 1.64. Okay, now that makes sense. I'm really rooting for you, man. You just have a little to get to your TP. So do any of you guys have any pairs on watch today? Have you taken any trades? And as always, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat. If you have any pairs you'd like me to look at, you can also let me know. So far for today, we did not get the entries we were looking for, although we got the selling pressure that we were anticipating. Still have to be patient. Right now the focus is on Audi JPY. I think on the dollar denominated pairs, we might get the break outside of this consolidation during the New York session. So this will be pairs to watch out for on the New York session, depending on how we're going to break outside of this range or consolidation. But for now, the focus for the remaining part of this stream will be on Audi JPY, but I'll also have an eye out on what's happening on gold, just for see if you'll get tagged out, if your TP will be hit. I'm really rooting for you on that. You're very much welcome at football pages. Looking forward to seeing you in the live streams. So you can see we've started to get the pullback. After we break, we get a pullback. So every time you're breaking highs, you're getting sellers. You're breaking highs, you're getting sellers in the market. So We have to wait for this small buying pressure to get exhausted, and then we will be looking for a really strong selling pressure coming into the market with maybe 2 to 3 really strong bearish candles. Then we can confirm that we now have a reversal in the character of the trade, and the uptrending market will be over, and we might now just be about to get the onset of a downtrending market. So that's what I'm looking for on AUDJPY. I'm not looking to get involved with longs. As I always say, whenever market has trended like for this long, like we've trended upwards throughout the Asian session into the London session, I'm not looking to get involved with buys, because as I say, I like to buy when the market is low and sell when the market is high. That's just a basic principle. And furthermore, whenever the market has trended for this long, if you are looking to get involved with the pullbacks, then we are likely to get deeper pullbacks. So I don't like to get involved in such markets. I'd prefer to see if I can get exhaustion of the buying pressure, then look to see if I can get involved with a pullback, with a fast pullback after the first impulsive push coming out of that sort of consolidation at the top of a trending market. Missed on gold move. I'm anticipating it to sell to 40.33. Okay, let me see that. 40.33. So around these levels. Okay, you can see maybe because of this area here. This also might be an area where you might get some support or buying pressure. But for Sammy, man, you're just about a few pips away from your TP. I was looking for shorts myself to see if I could have gotten the entries on silver, which aligns very much with gold. But for me, the way I look at the market, the way I look for my entries is very different. So I did not get the selling pressure I was looking for on silver, but I'm really happy for those of you who've been able to get in on this move on gold. I guess if you're looking for 1.64, I guess maybe you had a stop above these levels, but I don't want to guess. Hopefully you can hit this TP, and we're probably going to get there. So for me, I would expect to get some sort of support here or some buying pressure. For me, as I've said, the focus is on AUDJPY. We might get this sell-off during the London session, or we might have to wait a little bit longer towards the New York session. Lots of stop losses below, creating liquidity. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. As I said, for me on silver, I stopped looking to take shots after this push was not impulsive enough. And if you get continuation of momentum, you have to be wary of these levels. We might get some buying pressure. So I'm no longer looking to short this market. I'm just going to stay out and not force any trades. We could get an entry trigger in and around this area any moment from now, but as I've said, this push was not impulsive for me to look for me to take entries in this level. So we might get the entry trigger and price might continue to push lower, and I might miss out on that potential ROI. But if the trade does not meet my trade checklist, then I don't get involved. Let's just see if this setup would have been a winning trade or if it would have been a loss. Because right now I'm just about to get the entry trigger. If I was to take this short, I would have waited now to see if I can get another bearish candle after this candle to see if I can take shots. But for me, as I've said, this push is not impulsive enough for me to take short entries. Now what you'll notice is, you see this candle, it's almost as big, if not bigger, than the candles in this push to the downside, and that is not the sort of price action you'd like to see on the pullback. These candles should be bigger, stronger bearish candles. Then the bullish candles in the pullback should be smaller. What do you look for in confirming reversal on ODJPY? Looks like it'll sell during the New York. So for New Zealand JPY, as I said, I was looking to see if we could continue this break retrace, which we have. So because we continued this push, we retraced, we broke the high, we retraced, we are breaking the high again, we're probably going to retrace again. So first of all, I'm also going to move my pivot to this low. We've already gotten this sort of breaking retrace. We might continue with this sort of price action before we get the sell-off. But for now, I'm just waiting to see if we can break this low impulsively. And by impulsively, I'll be looking to see if I can get 2 to 3 strong bearish candles breaking this low. Then look for the entries on the pullback to take short entries to see if I can get in on the first trend of the possible downtrending market. That's basically what I'm looking for on Audi JPY. Just some strong selling pressure, then to look for entries on the pullback. The confirmation of the reversal will be the 2 to 3 strong bearish candles I'm talking about. So if you can get a move like this, but on the bearish side, this will be ideal. If you can get a move like this, but now pushing lower, that will be ideal. We might get this sell-offs during the London session just before the New York, because the New York session is still 2 hours away. I would expect to get these sell-offs before the start of the New York session. Or if price continues to just continue pushing higher with a sort of breaking retrace, then you settle into some consolidation, then you might get the sell-offs during the New York session. But what I will be looking for, or what you should be looking for, is seeing like 2 to 3 really strong bearish candles, taking prices lower, of course. Gold does not yet hit your TP. Are you still holding the trade waiting to hit TP, or you've closed out and taken the profits? May just come, break the low, retrace, break the low, touch your area, then you get the reversal. Yeah, I agree, considering we have a 1 hour bear imbalance. Now, as I said, on the other JPY pairs, I'm very cautious with them. And even the yen pairs in general from last week, you have to be cautious. Now with these other pairs, you have very similar price action like on Audi JPY, but the reason I'm not looking to get involved with the other yen pairs is because they're still inside this pullback of this 1 hour sell-off. So I don't like to get involved on the pullback of the 1 hour candle or on the 1 hour time frame. This is just a pullback. You can just come easily, tag these levels, come back in, just play around this area, which is not what I'd like to see. On Audi JPY, it's a little bit different because we broke this low or this hourly candle, then you got the retrace. Now we might still come and touch this level, so we might continue that sort of price just pushing higher, slowly but trickling upwards as we approach that hourly high here. So we may just continue pushing until we touch that level, then you can get the sell-offs. But if we get the sell-offs any moment from now, if you get the sort of price action I'm talking about, I'll be comfortable looking for shorts. But I'm not definitely looking for longs on Audi JPY. I haven't yet closed, but I'm waiting for opening of the 30-minute candle. So you're waiting for this candle to close, okay? But this is definitely showing signs of exhaustion. If price breaks this high, you might get a complete reversal in price. If it breaks the high of this candle. I'm really rooting for you because it just have a really small distance to cover for you to hit your TP. Looking at that 1 hour time frame on this particular pair, we might have to wait till the New York session to get the sell-offs on ODJPY, but as I've already said, if we get the selling pressure any moment from now, and we get the confirmation of the selling pressure, then I'll be looking to get involved. But I'd still expect price to develop a little, trickle, continue to push upwards, but just trickling upwards without a lot of strength before we get the reversals. If it breaks that small high, then I will be out of the trade. Yeah, I guess you've trailed your stop to that level. I guess probably have your stops around this area, trailing the move as it pushes long, which is really good trade management. Let's see if you will hit TP if this candle continues to push lower. As I said, it might come break, retrace, or it might come touch your level and then you get the retrace, because this price action here shows signs of weakness. For me, we're going to observe what's happening on AUD/JPY. With the dollar denominated pairs, those will definitely have to wait till the New York session, because we are still inside this consolidation or range area on the dollar index. So we are just continuing with the sort of price action I was talking about. We are breaking the high, but every time we are breaking the high, we are getting selling pressure. Although a little, we come again, break the high, we get selling pressure. This is not the ideal scenario you'd like to see when you're looking to look for longs. A market that is trending is once you break the high, you get continuation of momentum before you can get the pullback. But whenever every time you're breaking the high and you're getting a pullback, you're breaking the high and you're getting a pullback, this is a warning sign that you're starting to get sellers in the market and the buying pressure might get exhausted anytime. Let me take a quick look on gold. We've not yet been tagged out. So far, I did not get the, let me just take a quick look at silver, see if that's set up, or this was the setup. Now, if I was to get involved with silver, I would have gotten with this candle short, I'd have short the market with this candle, and my stop will be something like that. If I was to take this trade, because this will have been the entry trigger, this close of this candle. But as I said, I'm not taking that trade, even if it turns out to be a winning trade. So this will now have been at around 0.6269. But as I've said, I've not taken this trade. I'm just showing you how I would have been involved. If this selling pressure would have been strong enough, this would have been the entry I would have taken. And this trade might end up being a winning trade, but I'll be completely fine missing out because it did not meet my trading checklist at all. So let me remove this. We're just going to see if we're going to get continuation of momentum or if price is going to reverse, and I would have avoided taking a loss. Or if it's going to continue pushing lower, and as such I would have missed out on that winning trade. But as I've said, if the trade setup does not meet my checklist, then or my entry criteria or what I'm looking for, then I don't get involved in the markets. So right now we're just about to hit 1 p.m. Kenyan time. My intention was to do this London session for 2 hours. I started a little bit late. I didn't do the first hour, so I've done the next 2 hours of the London session. Hopefully I can be back today for the New York session, considering we might get this sell-off on the yen during the New York session. But as I've said, I'm actively trading until 6 p.m. Kenyan time. I just trade the first 3 hours of the New York session and I'm done for the day. If I don't get any setups, then I do not take any trades that day and I wait and reset to trade the following day, and so on and so forth. Yesterday we had really corrective markets. Today we've had a little bit better price action, but for me I've not been involved with any trade. The only trade would have been on silver, but I did not get the strong selling pressure I was looking for. So we're going to see if this was our loss I avoided or this was a win that I missed. XAG manipulating the real move happening at New York, especially the open. Looks like liquidity is low right now. Can you take a look on Euro USD? So as I said, with silver, I'm not looking to get involved anymore with the market, so there's no need of highlighting it. The entry would have been, if this was an impulsive push, then I would have taken my entry at this level, but since we did not get the impulsive push, I'm just staying out of the market on silver. Euro USD, with the dollar denominated pairs, as I said, as long as the DXY is inside this consolidation area, I'm not looking to get involved with the dollar denominated pairs. But if you're looking at it from the 30-minute time frame, you can also see we're still in the consolidation, in a tight consolidation. So until we break outside of this consolidation, I will not look to get involved with the dollar denominated pairs. With Euro USD, you can see it mimics the price action on the dollar index. We're just consolidating, and so we'd have to wait for price to break outside of this consolidation before I can start to see if I can get involved. So I'd like to see price breaking outside impulsively or breaking to the downside impulsively, but a lot will depend on how price breaks out on the DXY. The DXY, if we break outside impulsively, show a lot of strength on the dollar, then probably we'll be looking for shorts on Euro USD, on Pound USD, on AUD USD, but we'll be looking for longs on USD CHF. On the other hand, if we break to the downside with a lot of selling pressure, I'll be looking to long USD, Euro USD, Pound USD, AUD USD, and short USD CHF. If we get the sell-offs on AUD JPY and we get the setup, if we don't get tagged out of that trade, they could be really monstrous trades in terms of ROI or risk to reward. Because the Asian lows will be this, we'll have quite a distance to cover. So if we get a trending market, we get impulsive selling pressure, we can have a lot of room for the market to trend. So with AUD JPY, we'd still have to be patient. We're still continuing with that sort of price action I was talking about. We're just trickling upwards, breaking the highs, retracing. We might continue that. And we'll be waiting to see if we can get the sell-offs. So we've been live for 2 hours 16 minutes now. The intention was to do 2 hours of the live stream, give you guys my breakdown. And if we were to get the setups I was looking for, then we would have been able to trade live. But as always, if we don't get the setups, we don't force trades. Now, I have avoided taking this trade on silver. We're going to see how it's going to play out, if it will have been a win, or if I would have avoided taking an unnecessary loss by sticking to my trading plan. So it's now 1 p.m. If I'm to come back and do the New York session, then I'll probably need to take a break, then be back at 3 p.m. Kenyan time for the start of the New York session. So I think for some you're still in this trade, you're still waiting for price to come and hit your TP, and I'll be rooting for you, and you can come and catch up during the New York session. If I won't be back for the New York session, but then I'll still be there same time tomorrow for the London session. but probably I'll try to do the New York session even if it's for 1.5 hours or just 1 hour. So because I'd like to see how price action is going to play out on AUD/JPY, and on the dollar denominated pairs we're going to wait and see if we're going to break outside of the range bound market during the New York session. So if you're still in that gold trade, you already said you have your stops around, you have traded your stops to around this level. So either way, you're going to walk away with a win. It's just about if you're going to get your TP, and I can see prices pushing lower. So we'll catch up during the New York session or during tomorrow's London session. Anyway, for now, I hope you guys have an amazing trading session and trading day, and I hope to see you in the next one.